On behalf of the Lenawee Intermediate School District, our Board of Education and staff, we'd like to welcome you to the 2018 graduation ceremony for the LISD Academy, which is a regional middle college, as most of you know in the room. We're extremely proud of these students and their accomplishments. They've put in a great deal of work, dedication, time into accomplishing their goals. It's a very special evening for everyone, and this class represents a great deal of cumulative and individual success, and you're going to hear more about that as the evening goes along. I believe a special thanks, though, and recognition is appropriate for these students and their parents who've taken a bit of a risk as they joined what is a relatively new concept, although it's starting to not be so new here in Michigan in particular. And really, this group, though, has set kind of a new standard, which I know there's at least a few in the room that were here last year, as there were some siblings in last year's class, and they say, well, it's the same thing you said last year. Well, that's a good sign when we continue to set new standards of success, and you're going to hear more, as I said, about that this evening. This academy has really received some statewide recognition this year as a result largely of these 12 students sitting before you tonight. So we're very proud of that, and I congratulate them for that. Additionally, many of them have already received an associate's degree two weeks ago or so, which makes doing our ceremony here tonight feel a little bit awkward, but again, it's a unique thing, and it's a pleasure to see that. So as we move along, let me first be the first, or one of the first, to congratulate this evening, and I got to look at my cheat sheet here, Hannah, Janelle, Alexis, Samantha, Shayna, Austin, Mary Kate, Spencer, Kayla, Mario, Nathan, and Corbin. Well done, very well done. And lastly, I would just like to say I'd like to personally wish you continued success, and I stress the continued. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Kim Dussault, principal of LISD Academy.
Thank you, Mr. Haig. I also would like to welcome all of you here this evening and to thank all of you for all of your time, effort, energy, care, love, and just everything that you've put towards these students in their accomplishments to bring us here this evening. Each of you have supported these graduates in some way or another, and their success has just been tremendous, so I appreciate every one of you. Next, I want to talk to our graduates, though. So you guys have done a lot in your time in high school and grade school and preschool. You have learned a lot over these last many years. And while you've studied subjects like economics and geography and history and English, math and science, you've learned about things like transportation, modes of transportation and gross domestic product and the countries of the world. And you've learned about wars, and you've learned about famine, and you've learned about peace movements and technological advances. You've learned grammar and foreign languages, addition, subtraction, biology. But while you've learned about these things, I hope that while you've learned about geography and modes of transportation, I hope you've dreamed about how you're going to travel the world and which countries you want to visit. When you learned about sentence structure, I hope you learned that no is a complete sentence. As you've learned about foreign languages, I hope you learned that the language of love and kindness is universal. As you've studied history, I hope you've imagined how you're going to impact the future. As you've studied the cardiovascular system, I hope you've thought about what's in your own heart. As you've learned about addition. I hope you've learned about how you're going to spend your days so they all add up. And as you've learned about the explorers of the past, I hope you've thought about how you're going to chart your own future. So to each of you, I say congratulations. Go out, wander, explore, get lost, have adventures. But again, remember, you always have a place here. Congratulations to all of you.
I would now like to personally invite Mary Kate Bossard to the podium.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here. The support and time spent by each and every one of you towards this day is much appreciated, and I can bet that we're all very glad this day has come. I send a special thank you towards the parents and those who have played the role of parents over the past few years. Without your consistent support, none of us would be able to walk this stage today. I would also like to thank my fellow graduating students, teachers, and staff. You all have had such an enormous impact on each of our lives, and I am more than I'm able to express. All of the roles each of you have played, from enabler to encourager to teacher, are more than we can repay. As Zig Ziglar once said, a lot of people have gone farther than they thought they could because someone else thought they could. I believe this quote greatly applies to our journeys this far and to those who have helped us get to this point. Over our time here, my fellow classmates and I have been faced with many obstacles that have seemed impossible. Such obstacles include tests, like the dreaded SAT, competitions, scholarships, personal goals, the list goes on and on. And although these goals may have seemed impossible to us, our classmates, families, and academy staff believed in us enough to get us to where we are today. One prominent example of this kind of support that I've received is with a fellow graduate. We have had many, many math and science courses together, and whenever we would have a large exam coming up, we would study together for hours on end. And emerging from a 5-hour study session, I may not have felt secure in my own capabilities, but I always knew that her and I had felt that each other would do wonderfully, and if not, we would be with each other, whatever the result. Through these times, her support helped me in ways that studying alone never could have. The same act of spending time and effort to help one another has been shown by many of my fellow graduating students and staff. The support and encouragement has had a lasting impact on my life, and I think it's immensely important for us to continue to be intentional on supporting and uplifting others. As we venture off to new places, our breadth of impact will increase immensely. And although it is indeed important to ensure our own success, we must make it a point to uplift others, because as we do, we will be uplifted in return. As Harold Kushner said, caring about others, running the risk of feeling, and leaving an impact on people brings happiness. Because although we may be able to achieve monetary success through ourselves, it is through others that we find our truest successes. So as we part our ways, I want to challenge myself and my fellow graduates to change the people's lives around us, whether it be in the workforce or on a trip or on a college course. My hope is that we all will make a lasting impact on others, as you all have done to me. In conclusion, I again thank you for your time, for your generosity and encouragement in leading up to this day. I also greatly look forward to how we will continue the pattern of leaving a positive impact on the people's lives around us. And I'm excited to see how we will change the lives of those we have not yet met. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kate. Now I'd like to welcome Corbin Wright to the podium.
Okay. So where's the mic at? There we go. Can everyone hear me? All right. We have all been told by our parents that high school flies by. Whoa. That high school flies by and that we will miss it. But clearly, they didn't have to sit through a 3-hour night class or a lecture without definitions, examples, or sometimes even a point. I know I won't miss those things, but I will miss this. standing in front of and next to my family and telling them my final thoughts about high school and what lies ahead. I think I speak for all of us when I say that the Academy is a family. And while we may be the most odd and different group of people possible in this world, I have never felt more at home than with this group. I was thinking the other day, well, yesterday while writing this speech, that all families have a tree. But not only is this tree upside down, it only contains people you share blood with. So obviously, this doesn't make any sense when applied to us. Instead, I prefer to think of us as a forest, growing together, each in our own separate ways, on different paths, but still connected at the roots. This high school is our root system, and we should choose to believe that the next chapter does not mean uproot, but instead to stay connected and continue to grow. As we go through the rest of our lives as artists, entrepreneurs, engineers, physicists, and many more, I hope none of us forget the opportunities given to us by people. So I want to thank everyone who helped us make it through these last few years. Thank you to our parents and the faculty of the Academy, Siena Heights, Jackson College, and Adrian College for making this possible and guiding us through. Thank you, YouTube, Grammarly, Quizlet, WikiHow, and CliffNotes, and many more for the much-needed help at 1 a.m. before a final exam. Thank you to everyone who has impacted our lives, because it was you that helped us realize our full potential and our ability to change the world. We have sailed this far on hope, Red Bull, and dry ramen, and have now reached the shores of the real world. So let's burn the ships, because there's no going back now. Thank you.
Thank you, Corbin. Oops. Did you mess my stuff up? Sorry. And now allow me to introduce our guest speaker for this evening, John Schoonmaker. John Schoonmaker is a seasoned professional in the field of youth empowerment. He has worked enthusiastically over the past 30 years in southeastern Michigan and northwest Ohio, encouraging teens and supporting their efforts to bring their best to the world. He is a licensed counselor specializing in trauma healing work with teens. He is the founder of Omega Youth Empowerment, Wallakota Youth Programs, and the Legacy Program. Please join me in welcoming John Schoonmaker to the podium.
What a great privilege to be here. So, to stand with you, with your families, with your teachers and faculty, feeling my way through the darkness, I'm guided by a beating heart. Well, I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where it starts. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. Sing it with me. Wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. I didn't know I was lost. I didn't know I was lost. So, Mr. Griffiths is going to come up and sing in a minute with me. And I know he was really nervous because he thought that was the moment, but it wasn't. But he's coming up, I promise. So I shared the following words with you at the beginning of the school year at your orientation. So let's go back a little bit, all right? Everybody gets lost. Remember that? Everybody gets lost. Lost on a road trip, lost in the mall, lost looking for a friend's house, lost in IKEA. You've been there. Yeah. Lost in the halls of a new school, lost in the middle of a math equation. You can even get lost in a refrigerator that hasn't been cleaned in a few months. Right? Getting lost is a part of life. But you know what else is a part of life? Finding your way. Finding your way. You can't have one without the other. So congratulations, graduates. Congratulations. You found your way through the academy. You're graduating tonight. You've poured your hearts into arriving at this moment. You've evolved from awkward, gawky ninth graders. Well, most of you. I'll let you decide who didn't. So, and you've evolved into confident, competent, capable young men and women. And along this journey, there were moments that were filled with drive and passion and vision. And along this journey, I'm guessing, there were moments in which you felt totally lost. All of these moments, though, have helped bring you to this moment. You spent this year as an academic community exploring the concept of true north. There are countless directions we can look to for guidance along the path of our lives. Parents, teachers, mentors, friends, YouTube, Wikinow, right? You know that. But ultimately, the direction each of us needs to find is our true north. The direction that leads us always to our best self. When you follow your true north, you never really are lost. You're just finding your way. All this time, I was finding my way, and I didn't even know I was lost. The words of Avicii, right? A great privilege in my life is to experience a deep relationship and involvement with the Lakota people of South Dakota. You've heard me talk about them. I've worked with you for the last 4 years, at least. It's a people, a native people, who live close to Mother Earth and who find guidance in the 4 directions of east, south, west, and north. As you stand at the threshold of graduation and look to the wide open canvas of your future, I'd like to share with you some wisdom I have learned from my time with the Lakota that might offer guidance as you continue on your path to your best self. Each of the 4 directions is associated with a virtue that can orient us to our true north. The 4 directions and their virtues are an important part of the daily life of the Lakota people. So we always begin in the east. The east is the place where the sun rises and sheds light on the path we walk. The virtue of the east is wisdom. Walking without wisdom is walking in darkness. Wisdom always provides clarity and vision for everything we do. True wisdom always leads us to our best self. No compromises, no excuses, no regrets. So graduates, as you look to the east, as you journey in that direction in your life, may you always walk with wisdom. May the path in front of you always be light. And then we turn to the south. We follow the seasons to the direction of the south. And when the sun is in the southern sky, the days are long and warm because it's the summer. And the earth produces abundantly. The earth gives its abundance for all. And the virtue of the south is generosity. So to be generous means to be like the earth and to give freely of your time, your talents, and your treasure. Always for the benefit of others. And so, graduates, as you journey the roads to the south in your life, may you give without fear or shame. And may your life always be a blessing to those around you. And then we turn to the west. We follow the seasons to the direction of the west. The sun sets in the west and brings the darkness of night. The west also brings the storm clouds, the dark and stormy times of life. The virtue of the west is courage. There is darkness in this life that we must all face. There are storms in this life that will come. But we must face the darkness and the storms with our heads held high, with the belief that the morning always follows the night, and new life always follows the storms. So as you walk the roads of the West and face the challenges of life, may you face the challenges and storms that come your way with courage. May your courage be a beacon of hope for those around you. May you inspire others to stand in courage when they face their darkness. And so we turn one more time. We follow the seasons to the north, to the direction of the north. The north is the direction from which the cold winds blow, bringing snows that cover the earth. The virtue of the north is humility. And my dear graduates, I think this might be the toughest one of all. Wisdom, generosity, courage, and now humility. Humility is all about recognizing that I'm not the story. I'm a part of the story. Humility teaches us our part. And we step into that part with confidence, knowing that our piece of the story matters. To have humility is to know your place and to trust in the bigger story. To have humility is to remember that and to bring your best to every moment for the betterment of others around you, not for personal gain, but for the goodness of community. And so, graduates, as you walk the roads of humility, the roads that lead to the north, may you come to know your place and to trust the goodness of a bigger story. It has been an unbelievable honor in my life to travel those roads. As you sit here looking at, thinking about where you're going, there is no need for fear. Because you can do it. And we look at the growth over the last 4 years. We look at who you've become over the last 5 years for some of you. Who you've become. We got a lot of hope. There is so much hope. I'm convinced that right now, the world needs the best you have to give more than ever. The world needs men and women of integrity, who walk in wisdom, who have generous hearts, who stand with courage, and who live with humility. So as you leave the halls of the academy, continue to follow your true north and become the absolute best you possible. The world is waiting. And remember, you can't go it alone. Mr. Griffith? Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. All right, you gonna with me? You sing? Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. All right, on your feet, graduates. Come on now. Janelle asked for this. Here we go. Sing with us. Lean on me when you're not strong. Wait a minute. It's not been that long since we've done this. Okay, so lean on me when you're not strong. We got to hear it, people. I'll be your friend. All right, here we go. Lean on me when you're not strong. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Don't fall off stage, boy. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Call me when you need a friend. Call me. Don't worry now. Call me. Class of 2018. Mr. Griffith just needs to come up and give us his rendition.
Thank you, John. That was awesome. All right, so I'm sorry, I got all right, so now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Superintendent Mark Haig, LISD Board of Education, on behalf of the faculty, administration of the LISD Academy, a regional middle college, I certify that each candidate whose name shall hereafter be called has satisfactorily met and fulfilled the requirements that have been legislated by the Michigan Department of Education and the Board of Education of the Lenawee Intermediate School District in partnership with 11 local school districts. Superintendent Haig, if you will assist me in presenting the diplomas to our graduates. Graduates, please rise. Each graduate will be receiving their high school diploma, in addition to their Michigan Early Middle College Association technical certificate. Hannah Borton. Hannah is graduating with 63 college credits, an associate in art, and a general transfer agreement, and plans to further her education at Naropa University in Boulder, Colorado, and pursue a degree in art therapy or art as an art therapist. Mary Kate Bossard. Mary Kate is graduating with 79 college credits, an associate in science and general transfer agreement, and plans to further education at University of Michigan and pursue a career in particle physics. Janelle Carpenter. Janelle is graduating with 41 college credit and plans to further education using on-the-job experience to gain an apprenticeship or journeyman's card in machining and CNC machining to pursue a career as a machinist. Spencer Cruz. Spencer is graduating with 70 college credit, an associate in science, and plans to further education at the University of Toledo College of Engineering and pursue a career in mechanical engineering with a focus on aeronautical systems. Alexis McCullough. Alexis is graduating with 62 college credit and plans to further education at Concordia University in Ann Arbor and pursue a career in nursing. Kayla Nodine. Kayla is graduating with 70 college credits, an associate in general science and general transfer agreement, and plans to further education at the University of South Carolina to pursue a degree in psychiatry. Samantha Payne. Samantha is graduating with 92 college credits, an associate in art and general transfer agreement, and plans to pursue a career in English and, plans to further her education to pursue a career in English as a second language education. Mario Robataro. Mario is graduating with 56 college credits, an associate in science, and plans to further education at Michigan Technological University and pursue a career in electrical engineering. Shayna Sandy. Shayna is graduating with 67 college credits, an associate in science, and plans to pursue a career in computer science. Nathan Seneker. Nathan graduates with 67 college credits, an associate in science, and plans to further education at Kettering University and pursue a career in electrical engineering. Austin Sauce. Austin is graduating with 65 college credits, an associate in general studies, and plans to further education at Colorado State University to pursue a career as a nurse practitioner. Corbin Wright. Corbin is graduating with 20 college credits and plans to further education at Michigan Technological University and pursue a career in mechanical engineering. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor of presenting to you the JC LISD Academy, a regional middle college class of 2018. Graduates, you can move your tassel from right to left. Go ahead. Okay, while the graduates are retrieving their hats, I'm going to introduce the LISD Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and General Services, Dr. Kyle Griffith. Yes, you can all be seated. Please be seated. Dr. Griffith worked with all 11 local districts several years ago to establish the JC LISD Academy, a regional middle college, and served as our first principal of the program. Dr. Griffith will please welcome you to the podium for closing remarks.
All right, this is going to be really quick. Lean on me. Come on, John. Come on. You right? It's just a darn good thing I didn't join that duo there. It is so hard to contain my emotion and passion for this program. Tonight we've heard over and over and over again all the great accomplishments of this class. I'm going to do my best to try to capture it and put it in place of history in Lenawee County. So I'm an old history teacher. I'm a history buff, and I want to do a little research. So hang with me a little bit here real quick. There's a little bit of research on education in Lenawee County. It's the Little Red School book, published in 1976. And it has some great little facts in there. I'll give you one. The first public education, the first school was in 1825. Then there's some neat little interviews of the one-room schoolhouse teachers back in the day. And in Little Lenawee County, there's some neat little excerpts about gypsies that would come around. Gypsies in Lenawee County that would steal towels and soap from the Little Red Schoolhouse. You think, what is this guy? What's he going with this? So my goal really in looking at education in Lenawee County was, where does this class fit? Where does this fit in the grand scheme of education in Lenawee County? Where does the JC-LISD class of 2018 fit? And it hit me. Tonight, in front of you, is history. True history. And so I thought about this book. If it continues on past 1976, we have a publication hopefully in 2020. What would that look like? And I want you to listen very carefully, because there's some really cool pictures in here. Some pictures of some old classes from 1920s and just some neat stories behind that. And they have the class pictures and how awesome they were back then. But I want you to listen to this caption. Listen very, very carefully. In the spring of 2018, 12 students, for the first time in the history of Lenawee County education, completed their high school diplomas and 9 associate's degrees. A high school diploma, an associate degree. Now I'm going to take you back to 2012 real quick, where we had our first 3 students that walked at Jackson. And I have a picture of it in my office. And there's this look on President Phelan's face. He's kind of like, whoa, they did it. Think about that. Who thought about that? That you could get a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the same time. Tonight, we have 9 of those associate's degrees with our 12 students. 740 college credits, 1,650 volunteer hours, and ranked 6th in the state of Michigan on the SAT. Now that's the caption. I'm going to ask Andrew Munson to come up and get a picture for this history book. Come on up. I'm going to try to frame this picture for you, and one day we are going to put this together. And this is a moment, folks. That standing ovation that you just had a little bit, I don't think you understand the magnitude of what this class has accomplished in Lenawee County, the tone that they've established, the fact that you can do this in Lenawee County. You can do these things. Other systems are looking at it. Branch campus models, right? When the branch campus came out, it said, oh, at first it's like, what are you guys doing there? Then all of a sudden some local districts say, hey, well, let's do it too. 5 districts said, let's start branch campus model. Come and get it. I can't wait for the day, because you guys have set the tone. You've set the pace. I can't wait for the day when they accomplish what you have tonight. Andrew, you ready? We are going to, they are now official. We are going to capture history. So, Andrew, how would you like them? Stand up. Stand up. You frame them in, Andrew. This is your work right here.
Half up on the stage, half down below in the front. Just like we did outside.
Yeah. There you go. So now that they're official with diploma in hand, you are now witnessing history in Lenawee County right here.
Find a window.
Congratulations. Now I'm going to ask you to do one more standing ovation as they exit. We're going to have a celebration. We're going to celebrate with these history makers of 2018. We have some cake, we have punch, we have an awesome clarinet performance with Dylan, and Dylan's going to play some music as we gather up. But I ask you to rise and give them one more standing ovation as they leave.